Meow.
It's not a walkthrough, playthrough, review, anything like that. It's just me playing the game badly so you can see what it looks like. MP Games, so games made by the military police then. Breakout 2000. Right. Okay. That's not actually what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to start. Okay. Normal? Okay. So, it's Breakout in 3D. Sort of. Pre-rendered 3D. I find this, whoops, bollocks. This game, I think, represents what was wrong with game development for the Atari Jaguar back when the Jaguar was a thing. It represents, okay, this wasn't developed by Atari, it was developed by MP Games, whoever they are. And that's part of it, who the hell are they? You've got your brand new, super duper, beating all the opposition 64-bit games console that's supposed to be the absolute bee's knees, do the math. So what game are you going to put on it? I know, let's do Breakout. You know, classic Atari game, okay, fine. But it's new, it's high tech, it's meant to be the future. Why would you do this? You know, if it was actually 3D, you know, rendered, texture mapped polygons, I would still say, come on, that's weak. But it's not even that, it's pre-rendered sprites with a pre-rendered background. It demonstrates the complete lack of vision on the part of Atari. It's like, yeah, okay, we'll have some third-party developer who no one's ever heard of do a remake of one of our very, very, very earliest titles, and that'll be good enough, eh? That'll convince everyone that this is the future. Atari, no hope. Honestly, it's not a bad game. It's not. It's no better than Breakout, classic Breakout. There's probably a classic Breakout mode on here. I just can't be bothered to look because I just don't care. I like Breakout. I like Arkanoid better. In fact, this has got elements of Arkanoid, really, because it's got those power-ups that I keep missing and not getting to make use of. Yeah, it's competent. It does what it does adequately. It's nothing special. But you know, if you had got yourself an Atari Jaguar and you wanted to buy games for your Jaguar and only buy the ones that aren't crap, so that's limiting your options quite severely. You only want the ones that aren't crap. I would say, yeah, you could buy this one and not feel too bad about it. It's not great, but it's competent. There's fun to be had if you like Breakout type games. But there's nothing groundbreaking here. There's nothing that's going to impress anyone. It's just a moderately interesting way of doing Breakout. I think there's an awful lot of space wasted when you look at the actual the perspective. You're using like the bottom third of the screen. The rest of it doesn't need to be there at all. It's wasted space. here we are. Someone's doing barbecue. I've got my window open because it's hot. I've got my fan running, you can almost certainly hear it. But what you can't detect that I can is barbecue. I smell barbecue and now I want barbecue. I don't even like barbecue. It gives me indigestion because I eat too much meat and not enough veg, because usually there's not, you'll get some bit of lettuce. Great. I don't even like lettuce. Some spinach. Here we are playing Breakout and talking about spinach and lettuce. It does get kind of frustrating when you get down to the last few bricks. Yay, I got one. Playing this, it's reminding me vaguely, I just yesterday, day before, I got this ping pong game for me PSVR. I think, if I remember rightly, it's called Racket Fury. And I think, whoops, for PlayStation Plus members, people who membership, whatever, if you've got PlayStation Plus, I think the game, as I played this, and it's probably going to get to you too late. It was free when I got it, so I thought we'll have a go at that. Absolutely fantastic. I need to do a video of it. Let's put it this way, massively immersive, to the extent that after 15 minutes I decided I needed a rest, and I went to put my virtual bat down on the virtual ping pong table and dropped me Move controller on the floor, because obviously there's no table. But I was so into that reality, I was convinced I forgot. Literally, I forgot where I was. So, put me back down, thud, on the floor. There goes my Move controller. Good job it's like a nice soft carpet in here. Yeah, okay. Moving on. Thank you for watching. Hello. Today's question for Q&A is from Daniel Macri. He asks, for Q&A, if you were CEO of Sega in 2001-2002, what would you have done differently to save Sega's console division to make it competitive against Nintendo, Sony or Microsoft? Or do you believe it was always doomed? Yeah, by then it was doomed, if I'm honest. I'm not a business person, so I don't know if there was anything they could have done, but my view is they had blown it years before, and that they didn't learn, or they didn't seem to grasp the damage they were doing to their own brand. They had moderate success with the Master System in Britain and Europe. I don't think it did well in Japan or the US, did it? But it was enough for them to bring out the Mega Drive and have a major hit on their hands. And I think at that point they thought they were, what's the word? Untouchable. It's not the word I was looking for, but brain can't find the one I do want. Immortal, something like that. And so they produced the Mega CD and the 32X, both of which were intended to extend the life of the console until they could finish development of the Saturn. But neither of them sold particularly well, and they abandoned both. I mean, there's stories behind the development of them and how they came to be and all that. The 32X in particular, kind of infighting between Sega America and Sega Japan and whatever. Ignoring that aspect, the internal politics of Sega, the mistake they made was to abandon their own hardware in, well, way too soon, really. Nintendo showed how to do it. They developed hardware, and even if it didn't sell well, they continued to support it, except maybe the Virtual Boy, but I mean, that's understandable. So they had these two bits of hardware, both of which were abandoned pretty damn quick, and then they made the Saturn. and it also didn't sell well. And it wasn't too long before they abandoned that as well to concentrate on the Dreamcast. And this was a really short-sighted way of doing things. They were looking at short-term, make a quick buck, and didn't care that basically they were completely screwing their user base. Here's these people who've spent significant money on a piece of hardware only to find Sega were like, yeah, we're not going to make anything for that anymore. So the games you've got, that's all you're getting. Tough. Buy a new console. And by the time the Dreamcast came out, people were like, no way. We don't care how good this is, how much better than the opposition it is. We ain't buying that because you're just going to abandon it like all the other stuff you've made. It wasn't about the quality of their hardware. It was about their brand, and they didn't just tarnish their brand, they ruined it. They shat all over it. They proved to their user base, we don't care about you. And the user base said, we're not buying your hardware, we don't care what it is, we ain't touching it, you're a bunch of arseholes. And Sega paid the price, and rightly so. They got what they deserved. I mean, I don't like Nintendo. I preferred Sega hardware over Nintendo hardware all the way. But Nintendo is still here. Because guess what? They didn't shit all over their user base. If they developed a piece of hardware that didn't do well, they continued to support it. Maybe there weren't like tons and tons and tons of games, but they didn't abandon it. And when you're making games consoles, that is the only way to go. If you want to survive long term, you can't abandon your own hardware. So, no. By the time the Dreamcast was a thing, writing was on the wall already. It didn't matter how good that console was, unless they had a really, 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 massively amazing, fantastic, you've got to have this game. And they didn't. There were a few good games. There were some very, very interesting games. Shenmue, groundbreaking. It really was. But it's also very niche. It's not... It wasn't going to grab the masses, because while it was very interesting and very clever and very groundbreaking, it wasn't something where your typical user on the street could go, whoa, I've got to play that. They'd be like, what the hell is that? I don't know what that is. I'm confused. I'm not going to spend money on it. Or certainly not going to buy a console to play it. Daytona, nice, but... Crazy Taxi, love it, but it's not. They're not games that are going to sell hardware. Res, fantastic, but then again, out on the PS2 as well. They didn't have anything to make anyone really, really, really have to buy the console. So, and that's the only thing that would have given them a chance. They'd tarnished their brand. People were like, whoa, we don't trust you. And it would have taken a must-buy killer app. And they didn't have one. So no, by 2001, 2002, it didn't matter what they were screwed. Absolutely, they had shot themselves in the foot, pissed on their chips, you name it. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say about that. Other hardware manufacturers out there, who obviously all watch my videos, continue to support your hardware. Speaking of hardware, that new PC. It is a PC Specialist, this really rolls off the tongue, Tornado R5. So it's a Ryzen 5 5600X with RTX 3060, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 gig SSD, 2 terabyte hard drive. It's very nice. Why have I got that? Because I'm a console gamer for the most part. I'll tell you, Facebook. I am utterly into the Oculus Quest, as you're probably aware, and more specifically VR chat. There'll be some more VR chat clips at the end of this video after the credits. Just hooked on it. I love it. It's fantastic. And as you're probably aware, Facebook went down the other day. They were gone for like 6 hours. And when Facebook went, Oculus went, which meant I couldn't get onto VR chat. And so I was like, okay, there are other ways of doing VR chat. You can... I could see there were people still on there because they've got a web interface where you can see if your friends are still online or are online or what rooms they're in. You can run VR chat from Steam. You can. There's like an Oculus, PC-based Oculus app. I don't know how much of that would still work, but I was just like, I've got to find another route in there. You can run the Oculus Quest as a display-only thing, as a traditional VR headset rather than a standalone, and stream like the PC does all the work and then streams it over the Wi-Fi. You don't even need a cable. You stream it over the Wi-Fi to the headset, and the controllers and everything all work. So it's like an Oculus Rift, but without the cable, and higher resolution as well. So I thought, well, I've got to have a try with that, give that a go. My laptop, not up to the job, so I was like, okay. Going to Curry's. Normally I'll buy tech from Amazon, but I don't want to spend... I just wanted to walk in there, give them my money and walk out with a computer, with a laptop. That didn't happen. Got into Curry's, looking at an MSI gaming computer, and I'm like, I'd like one of these please, and they're like, yep, sorry, haven't got any. How quickly can you get one? We can't. I'm like, okay, why have you got them on display? They pay us to. So they're being paid by gaming manufacturers to have their things on display, even though you can't buy them and you can't get them, and there just plain aren't any. So couldn't get the one I wanted, so I pointed at the next one along. Can I have one of them? No. Next one, can I have one of them? No. Desktops, can I have one of these? No. Are there any computers here that I can buy now? No. Have you got any computers at all in your warehouse that are up to the specs that I want that I can buy? Let me have a look, he says. And he finds one and reads out the specs, and I'm like, yep, I'll have that. How quickly can you get it? Tomorrow? So I'm like, yep, okay, gimme. Spends more money than I would have liked to, but by then I was like, I'm having one and that's it. And there it is, and it's very nice. I mean, I'm not your PC master race kind of person. I don't follow PC news developments, whatever. It's like I had done a little bit of research and knew what CPUs were decent and what weren't. Like Ryzen 5s are better than a lot of the Intel stuff. This particular one, they reckon, is in some circumstances better than the i9. I don't know about that. But you know, a decent mid-range computer as far as I can tell, and it will stream the Oculus. You know, it will run the Oculus as a display over the Wi-Fi and do VR chat absolutely gobsmackingly well. It's fantastic. It takes a bit of getting used to how it works, because I'm used to the Oculus interface. And all of a sudden that interface is out the window and you've got a completely different one because it's running from the PC, and it's like the operating system of the headset itself is gone. You don't have access to it while you're on that. But then if you suddenly shut down the Oculus program on there, it's like bam, you're back into your Oculus headset operating system, and it's weird. VR chat on PC with a headset is vastly better than the standalone on the Quest 2. I say vastly better, no, it's better, it's a lot better. The fascinating thing is how even though graphically a lot of it is the same, you know, things are a bit more shiny, and they're higher resolution, so you see more detail. The thing that strikes me most is everything seems bigger. And I can't quite work out why. I wonder if the virtual camera lens is wider angle or something, but it's different. The whole place seems bigger when I'm in the Black Cat. It's interesting. I mean, I haven't scratched the surface of what it can do. Some things definitely going to be harder. Recording in-game footage, I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I don't know if I'm going to need to like use OBS or something like that, but then I'm going to lose the audio. You don't seem to... If I have to pull the speakers out of that thing, if I've got the VR headset on and I want to hear what people are saying, and it took me a little while to work this out because I went into VR chat and I couldn't hear anyone. They could hear me, but I couldn't hear them. And they were all confused because here was this cat wandering around going meow, meow, meow with his hands over his ears going like that, like, I can't hear you. Yeah, I had to unplug the speakers on that so that it then sends the audio to the Quest. Strange, confusing. It's going to make recording game footage difficult. Not sure how I'm going to do that, if at all. I do want to... I gotta... oh god. Spoilers! I'm going to record some footage of Res Infinite on the Quest 2 because it's fantastic. And that, I won't be using that. It's native Quest. It's amazing. That's coming up. Was going to do that today. That was the plan for today before I bought that. Last week I was planning to do that today. But that's not going to happen now because I'm doing this and then I'm going to play some more on that. Yeah, okay. I think that's all I've got to say now. There is some VR chat footage after the credits, so if you're interested in that, some of it is quite funny. I've had to edit some of it and cut some of it because there's some stuff that was really, 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 really funny, but I can't show it to you. Okay, thank you for watching.
Patreon? That's not even a word. You've made it up.
Turn it down. I'll be right back. I need to mute the guy upstairs.
Meow.
Meow? Fucking meow.
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 Fucking meow.
Fucking meow.
Oh yeah, I'm his translator. So
There we go. That's good.
Yeah. If you need to understand anything I'm saying to you, just
Alright. Alright.
Meow.
Yo, so like,
Meow.
I just finished polishing my balls. You wanna see?
Meow.
Okay, what does he say?
He said yeah. Fucking meow.
he didn't just say yeah, he said hell fucking
Officer down.
Meow.
Officer down. I need backup
Yeah.
immediately. Shots fired. Shots fired. Officer down.
I
Sounds
heard
very
that. Yeah, he was like, fucking meow. Yeah, I heard that, man.
no,
Yeah,
you
fucking
can
hell yeah.
understand you kind of understand Cantonese a little bit. Like the more you're around him, you can understand.
Yeah. Oh no, we've been homies for a minute. We've been homies for a minute.
Meow.
You don't remember, do you?
Meow.
Oh, meow. Okay.
Yes, he doesn't remember you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Man, can I just say you've really committed to this persona you've got going on.
Meow.
Since I met you,
Legit,
just,
I haven't heard this man say an actual word. He just says meow.
Well, he also says
I
fucking.
admit it. I've been trying to get him to crack so
Fucking
hard,
yeah.
but like it's just so fucking difficult. One other word other than fucking and meow, I can't do it. It is impossible.
Meow.
I'm starting to think.
Yo, so you got something in the mail.
Meow.
He's nuts.
It's a hard root. That's a hard song to play.
Oh, you guys are like all the kitties.
It's actually a hard.
Let me join in on the. Let me join in on the
Yeah,
fun.
no, we're.
You don't want to go find a table?
Yeah, I'm down. We'll go find a
got
table.
Charlie
We'll find a
for you.
booth, a kitty booth.
I mean, black or white, we can both agree that ginger cats fucking.
Yeah, fuck ginger cats.
Which table are we taking, bro? We taking a booth? We're taking a booth. We're gonna have a
Fucking
cat
Garfield.
bro.
I'm gonna go find a drink.
Well, first of all, you seem pretty chill, and
Yeah, no, get us some beers, bro.
Meow.
Ah, fuck.
Meow.
yo, we should start a
Riptide, you
cat
good?
choir.
Cat choir.
Yeah,
I was in high school choir, so I'm
taking a
fucking
little
down.
break.
I was in
Oh,
musical
nice
theater,
choir.
bro.
Hey.
You know, got the lead role and everything. What can I say? I'm not even that good of a singer, but
Fucking
I,
nerd.
you know,
White Christmas.
I drank and I drank and smoked with the director, so it's all good. So I got the lead.
Only at Miller Grove. I saw the actual tail. I was like, okay.
Why'd yours got a stash? Why's yours got a mustache?
Meow.
What
do you mean?
Look at his.
Oh, that was the most beautiful angle ever. Oh yes.
What do you mean it has a mustache?
Do you not see his?
Meow.
No, there's no
He's
mustache.
got drawn on whiskers.
No.
Oh, I wish you guys could see this. It looks like he just taped pieces of paper to his face and drew whiskers on it.
I think you're just looking.
You
at a
guys really don't
sunspot
see
by
that?
the absolute blindness
Nah,
of his
dude.
ball sack.
You're
Do you
big.
have
No,
vision
it's-
settings on, or my avatar shown?
I mean, it's normal for everyone else.
You just have sunspot
Oh.
in your cataracts.
I guess
bro.
I didn't have your skin turned on, but I could see it anyway. That's weird. Kind of wanted to go back. That was kind of funny looking.
Holy shit, bro! There's a
Reach
whole
60
fucking
nut shots.
ritual going on over there. Look at the goose and the pancakes.
Yes, that's what I was talking about, man. That guy fucking, he's the one that fucked with us for sure. He threw all the shit over
That
here.
guy for sure has
He's a
no
creep.
friends.
Yeah, he's a
He's been running over and picking it all up.
That guy
Yo,
was
let's
fucking
go fuck with him.
weirdo.
I mean, we got enough people here. We can go.
We got the numbers.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck you do that for?
He's alright.